We've been talking about losing your divine purpose and divine timing. Last week, we understood that all things were created by Jesus Christ and for Jesus Christ, and that even Christ himself holds all things in place. So we understood there is a divine purpose and there is a divine strength that holds all things together. And today we are focusing on the divine timing. Do you know that under the heavens, there is a timing of God for every single activity? In other words, God has established from the beginning of time when to do things and when not to do them. For you and for me. Everything under the sun has a divine timing for it. Your problem and my problem is that we don't ask for God's timing. What we do is we base our decisions on when to start something and when to stop it based on our feelings, based on our emotions, based on our fears, and based on our hurts. We see God is someone that knows how much we can handle. God knows when we should start something, when we should stop it. This can be a business, this can be an activity, this can be a hobby, this even can be a relationship with someone. Now, of course, I'm not talking about relationship with your wife or your husband. That definitely, once you start a relationship, it is till death do you part. But other things like business and even ministry work or volunteering someplace or being in a job or being in a nation or being in a city, all these things has its timings. The timing might be forever, and the timing might be for a short while, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. But if you are basing everything on your desires, on your needs, on your fear of lack, on the trouble or difficulties that you face in that time, then you will be out of God's timing. And the worst thing that can happen to you is to be either too early or too late, because there you will not see fruits. Even if you don't see fruits, sometimes we go through a struggle and we say, well, maybe this is no longer for me. See, struggle is not a sign of failure. In the Bible itself, we see that most of the heroes, most of the people that we try to imitate, they had struggles. But then their faith in Christ, their faith in Jehovah, made them surpass that struggle, and God kept them as examples for us about the faith we need to have. So just because something is tough doesn't mean that you need to quit it. Sometimes when something does get difficult, you might have to quit at that moment because the timing is done. But to know to quit or not to quit, to know to start or not to start, has to be based on God's timing. And in order to know that, you have to sit with Christ. You have to ask him. Don't decide based on your emotions. Don't decide based on what others have done or what others are doing or telling you. You have to ask God. If you know Jesus Christ, you will have an answer. Now, if you don't know Jesus Christ, then you're obviously out of God's timing, out of God's purpose, and doing things in your own strength. And there is no hope whatsoever that you will ever be in God's timing. Now, God will take everything around you, even if you're not with Christ, and use it for his glory and make things work out for you once you come to Jesus Christ. But before that, you are completely on your own. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 8. Read it. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 8 starts off by saying, For everything, there is a time, and for everything, there is a purpose under the heavens. When you walk in that timing, when you walk according to God's plan for your life, even if you struggle, it will always, always, I repeat, always be to your benefit. You will always see the value behind it. You will always see success. Not success according to what you think is good, not success according to what man thinks, but success according to the divine, according to God's purpose. And that is a wonderful feeling. That is a wonderful testimony. So if you don't know Christ, this is the time. Today, right now. Accept him into your heart. Because you will always be in the right time when you accept Jesus. And he wants you to accept now. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Don't leave it for when you understand more things. Don't wait to become holier or to leave that wrong relationship or to leave that addiction. That doesn't work that way. The time for you to accept Christ is now. The time for you to become serious about Jesus Christ is now. This is the time. Do it. And then everything else will start falling into place. This is God's promise. And it's a wonderful promise. And he's in charge of all things. So I encourage you with this. Look for God's timing. Ask him for his divine timing in your life. And surrender to Christ if you haven't yet. Right now. Just ask him into your heart. Right now. Just say, Lord, I surrender. Lord, show me your ways, that I may walk in them. And he will show you because he loves you. Not because you deserve it, not because you're a good person. Because you've asked, you will receive. This is the promise of Jesus Christ, especially for those who have chosen to follow him. God bless you.